Hello and welcome to another section in further maths. In this section we'll be discussing about logarithms with table. But before we proceed into what we have today, I'd like us to do a fast review on our previous lesson. Okay, welcome back. Now when you talk about logarithm of numbers, you're talking about the natural log of that number, and we can use logarithm to perform series of analysis like the multiplication, division, and we can as well use it to find the logarithm of some numbers. For example, if you are being told to solve example, we'll call it example 1 under logarithm, using the log table, find the solution of the given numbers. So the numbers are 0.8214 times 0.04244. So with this, remember we are dealing with we want to talk about logarithms with table. You write the number and the logarithm. Now when you talk of logarithm of numbers, what are the numbers we are dealing with? 0.8214, and under it we have 0.04244. Now with this, the sign of 0 point signifies we have a 0 here, so it's called bar 1, the negative logarithm, because in log with table, if the 0 1, it's called bar 1, that's a minus 1. If we have 5,000 1 2 3 4, it is 3. So you take the first 3 and leave the last one. So this is bar 1 point. We've not done that, and this one we have 2 zeros, so it's equivalent to bar 2 points. Now let's start looking for the logarithm. Now if you get your logarithm table, go to 82 under 1 difference 4. 82 under 1 difference 4, you'll be having 9145. 9145. And here if you go to 42 under 4 difference 4, you'll be having 6478. Now we deal with this other side of it. 5 plus this is 13, you have 3 and you have 1. 4 plus this 11 plus 1 12, you still have 2 and you have 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus this 1 is 6. Now 9 plus 6 is 15, you have 5 and you still have 1. Now this one cancels this, so you now have bar 2 point this. Now since you have bar 2 point this, bar 2 is trying to tell you that it is on a 0.0. Remember how we converted it here? When we had 0 point is bar 2. So now we are looking for 56 under 2 difference 3, and our value there is 3651. 3651. Now this is the anti-log. This point is known as the anti-log. This is the anti-log. So therefore, what it's trying to tell us is that if you multiply 0.8214 by 0.04244, that your answer will be equal to 0.03651. That's what we've been able to do with our logarithmic table. Now I will still want us to move further into solving some questions that involves logarithm. For example, if you have find the value of 3.53 raised to power 3 using logarithmic table. Now remember, the first thing you are supposed to do is to place 3.53. You have number and you have log. Now since we have number and log, you have your 3.53 raised to power 3. So since this is a digit number, you have 0 point. You have to change 53 under 0 difference. 0, it will give you 5478. But because of the power here, you do it times 3. And when you multiply this, you'll be having 1.6434. Now having 1 at this point, then you're supposed to know that the value this other side should be equal to 2. So it's a 2 decimal place stuff. But before placing your 2 decimal place, check 64 under 3 difference 4. Then you know your value will be that's the anti-log of this is now 44.00. So with this is our value for this. Now let's do the last one that contains division. Now when you have the square root of 4,000 raised to power 4, let's do the fourth root. Let's call it 4. So this one can be solved in this manner. This is the number, this is the logarithm. So let's separate our table. So this is the number, this is the logarithm, and our number here is root 4,000. We have this raised to power 4. So this 1 2 3 4. So we now have 3 point. You check 40 under 0 different 0. You have 604. Then because of the fourth root, you're dividing by 4. And when you do this division, your answer will now be 0.9005. Now having 0 here shows you that you'll be dealing with a 1 decimal place value. So in getting the value for this, your value becomes 7.952. 7.952. That happens to be the anti-log, the anti-logarithm of 0.9005. So with this, we note that 4 root 4,000 equal to 7.952. So I would like to say a very big thank you for being part of this lesson. But in order for you to refresh your memory on what we've just discussed, please take the test that will appear shortly on your screen. Do well to use the lesson notes on the platform for a better information on the topic we've discussed. Always feel free to drop your questions on the comment section. We'll be glad that you did.